Hi, this is Nicholas Yock, a registered migration and education agent from Pathway to Oz. Today I'm going to discuss with you New South Wales state nomination, which just opened up, thank God. So look, today we're going to discuss the requirements for New South Wales nomination, what occupations can apply for New South Wales nomination, where to find more information on it, and how to apply for New South Wales state nomination. Okay, so look, in order to apply for the skilled nominated or the skilled regional visa, you need to be nominated by a state or territory, and each state or territory has different requirements. So the New South Wales just came out with their new requirements. Basically the difference between the state nominated or the subclass 190 visa is that it's a permanent visa. The skilled regional visa is a temporary 5-year visa that converts into permanent residency after only 3 years. So on the 190 visa, you can live anywhere in New South Wales, including Sydney. Whereas on the 491, you can live anywhere in New South Wales except Sydney. So look, obviously the 190, it's permanent, you can live anywhere, like it's a more desirable visa. So it's a lot more competitive, which means it's generally speaking a little bit more difficult to get an invitation compared to the skilled regional, the subclass 491. Please note, you can actually apply for both the skilled regional and the state nominated, both visas on the same expression of interest, so you can better your chances by going for both. Now we have separate videos on these visas which go into more detail, so check those out, but this video is specifically going to focus on New South Wales state nomination. Alright, so the skilled nominated or the state nominated subclass 190. So look, it's a permanent visa to Australia, lets you live anywhere. And before I go any further, all this information is going to be on the New South Wales migration website, so I'd recommend you check that out. I'll put the link below. Okay, so look, what occupations can apply for the subclass 190? Technically it needs to be in a target sector, but honestly the target sectors, the occupations they've given are huge. So, I mean, have a look through this. You've got managers, professionals, it's a lot. Trades and technicians, pretty much any trades on there, and community and personal workers. So there really is a lot of different occupations to choose from. We'll put the link below so you can check that out too. So what are the requirements? To be eligible for consideration, you must submit an expression of interest through Skills Select. You must be aged under 45 years, have competent English, have a skill assessment in a target sector, so one of those occupations on the list which we went through, have at least 65 points, and this is the most important thing, be currently employed in New South Wales in your skilled occupation, or have genuinely resided in New South Wales for a minimum of 3 months. So, I mean, ideally they're looking to target people who are living and working in New South Wales. Okay, so look, how to apply? Well, it's quite a simple process, the same as previously. Basically, to be able to submit your expression of interest to New South Wales to let them know that, hey, I want you to invite me, you submit the expression of interest in Skills Select. On the expression of interest, you must indicate that you're willing to go to New South Wales. And then you basically just need to wait to be invited. Now, New South Wales will send out invitations in their invitation rounds, and then once you get an invitation, you can provide all the documentation to them. So, unfortunately, they don't give a specific time frame on how long this will take. I mean, it's a pretty competitive field, so they're going to take, usually people with the highest points, although I do imagine they'll put greater emphasis on selecting applicants who are living and working in New South Wales. Okay, so the skilled regional subclass 491. Now this is what I'm probably most excited about. The list is huge, right? So it's an open 5-year work visa that converts into permanent residency in as little as 3 years, but you can't live in Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane. So to be able to apply for this, they generally speaking want you to be sort of out of the, in one of the regional areas. Now, what occupations are eligible for this visa? Okay, so unlike the 190, this has a few different streams. So stream 1 is probably the best. I love it. Look, so if we jump on the website, basically to be able to apply for stream 1, you must be living and working in regional New South Wales, have a skill assessment in an occupation that is on sort of the combined occupation list. So once again, if we look through it, you come down here, look, that combined occupation list is huge. Okay, so you'll probably find your occupation on there. They want you to have been living and working in that region, in your occupation, for at least 12 months. So if you're in regional New South Wales, have a skill assessment, have been working in your occupation for 12 months, right, you're potentially eligible for this stream. Okay, so look, the next 2 streams, streams 2 are for people who have studied in regional New South Wales. So if you've studied there for over 24 months, you might be eligible, but the list of occupations are a lot smaller. So for this, you actually need to sort of go through, and have a look at the different individual areas. So the individual regional sort of locations, so Central Coast, Central West, Far North Coast, those individual areas, and they'll have their own individual list. Now, this list is significantly shorter in most places than the actual government list. For the 3rd and final stream, it's pretty interesting actually, in the sense that for stream 3, you just need to have a valid skill assessment in one of those areas, in an occupation that is in one of those areas. But you can actually apply if you're residing in Australia, in an Australian state or territory. So you don't specifically need to be in New South Wales. This is huge. Most states don't do this, and I don't know how much they'll prefer to invite people who are onshore, but it could definitely be worth, or who are onshore and living and working in the state. Most states generally tend to like people who are living and working there, but I mean, hey, it's worth sort of throwing your hat in the ring. So look, of the streams, stream 1, huge list, and stream 2, you've got to have an occupation in one of those specific regional areas. Okay, so look, what are the requirements? Pretty standard. Submit an expression of interest in Skill Select, indicate that you're willing to go to New South Wales and live and work in a regional area, be under 45, competent English, have a skill assessment in an occupation which is relevant to your stream, and score at least 65 points. So, what is the nomination process? Well, it's pretty simple. Look, so first you obviously complete the skill assessment. Obviously you've got to have a skill assessment. Then lodge an expression of interest. Then, unlike the 190, you don't just wait to be invited. You've actually got to go a next step and register your interest. So you can, jump on the website. It's actually not very far, not very long. Once, you can check out which area you might want to go to. You nominate an occupation and then enter your details and things like that here and hit submit. So once you do, register your interest in the state, you basically need to wait to then just be invited to apply for the visa. So with the 491, there's that little bit extra step where you complete the EOI, then register your interest. And just please also note, you've got to submit your interest in a specific, window. So you can only do this in August, October, January, or March. So you can't just submit it at any time, you've got to submit it in one of those windows. But like anything, you've pretty much just got to wait, then to be invited by the state or regional area. Look, I hope you find this information useful. Please note this is very general in nature, and if you do want someone, to chat with about your specific situation, I would recommend chatting to a registered migration agent. Feel free to, book in for a consultation with a registered migration agent at Pathway to Oz. Thank you.